guys, it's iGloriaaa. I hope I didn't scare you. Okay, cool. So for anyone who knows me, you know that this topic right here is something that I hold true to my heart. And I thank the Holy Spirit because last night he was talking to me about this topic. So I was like, let me go ahead and share with my people, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go straight into the topic. Today's topic is going to be, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm saved. Can I be creative? Is that even allowed? Well, I'm here to answer your questions. Now, stay tuned for the video. I gave my life to Christ, so I think it's time to put away all this stuff. Wait, what? Stop. Hey, I'm back. I like doing that whole shit. Okay. Well, to answer your question, like, some people have this question, like, I'm saved. Is creativity allowed? Like, am I allowed to be this creative? And it's like, for some people, they may feel like that's not a question people are asking. But honestly, quite frankly, a lot of people are asking that question without actually saying it. They're probably muting themselves in the church scene. They probably have these gifts, have these talents, but they don't really feel like the church needs it. Yes, you can be creative. And if anything, I believe you're more creative when you're saved versus when you're not saved. What does that mean? Gloria's here to explain. Listen, nowadays, the most creative people are influenced by what's already been done, right? Like, what we think of creativity nowadays. Like, for example, street art, psychedelic rap and rock, indie artists, SoundCloud, Tumblr fashion, melanin-inspired art / Afro art, if you get what I'm saying. But nowadays, this is a basis of creativity. However, is this creative or is that just interesting? Oh my God, what am I saying? There's a difference between creativity or creative and interesting. To define creative means the ability to make new things and think of new ideas. Now, interesting means arousing curiosity / interest, attracting attention. Now, the interesting thing, the root word of interesting is interest. Nowadays, people are interested in common interest. Common interest is the basis of creativity nowadays. But with this knowledge I told you about creativity, is that really creativity? Or is that interested? Is that just interesting? Like, one of the reasons why we have slept on artists nowadays is because they probably don't fit the common interest, aka they're not interesting. But just because you don't fit the common interest doesn't mean you're not creative. If anything, I think you are creative because you don't fit the common interest, because your idea is fresh and your idea is new. Let's go ahead and talk about creativity. Actually, you know how we were talking about the root word of interesting is interest. The root word of creative is God. Whoa, Gloria, where are you going with this? Check this. I was shook when God told me this as well. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, it actually says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. One of the very first words in the Bible, okay, was created. Creativity. Create. God is the root of creativity. So now, when we think of this world, this void world, at one point it was nothing. But God created the world. So therefore, God is the beginning of creativity. God created the world. You get my gist there? Okay. Anyways, so now I'm here to ask you, what makes us think that since we're saved, we can't be creative? Wait. Quite frankly, I feel like Christian artists are actually limiting the potential God has for art today. The same God that created man and grass is the same God that's living inside of me and living inside of you. So with that, bruh, what are we doing? That's not okay. We're chilling and we're cranking to the same thing. We're doing the same thing. If anything, we need to now get into our quiet places and ask God, how can you make me more like you? How can you make me more creative and showcase your glory? God doesn't want to stop at just creating the world. He wants to create something through you. You get my gist? You get my fly? You feeling me? It's not anyways, think about it. There are so many creatives in the Bible. And to our common knowledge, most of us think the only creative in the Bible was David. However, Moses was a creative. He was a creator. He was creative. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Moses was a creator. He built the tent of ark. Noah with the ark, you know what I'm saying? You have Solomon, Song of Solomon, and these were all like artists. Now think about those who were in situations. Like, just because you're not painting or making a song or, doing a video, that doesn't mean that you're not creative. There were people like Abraham who were creative with the way that they got out of situations. You get what I'm saying? Even though, yes, God was the one who instructed them how to do it, they still executed it. So they too were artists. I was like, wow, that's actually true. That the Bible is full of so many different artists. If you allow yourself to be used by God, you become an artist naturally. Because God's going to put you through things, and He's obviously not going to show you step 1, step 1.5, step 1.6. Like, no, He expects you to go from step 1 to step 2. How are you going to do that? You got to be creative. So we need to come to a place where we can begin to encourage our brethren who are creative. No more bashing them. No more keeping them away from the church. No more considering them to be weird. No more looking at their art and sleeping on them. If you know somebody in your church who may be quiet, they're sitting in the back, but they are so tough when it comes to writing things or painting things, have a conversation with them so that you too can inspire them to go and tap into God. You know what I'm saying? And really get more creative and have more depth to their creativity. So I have 4 tips on how we can showcase our art onto the Lord. 1, allow yourself to be inspired. Give time throughout the week/day to let God inspire you and give you ideas in your quiet time. 2, have hangouts with friends where you can share your art. With each other. You guys are having like a kickback or whatever, and somebody painted something and you're like, okay, let me show you something, that kind of thing. Present your art to each other, whether it's a song or a video you worked on. For example, the painting I showed you guys in the beginning. Yes, my girl, Ewa Olua Ogunana, she was the one who actually made or painted this for me for my birthday. She's amazing. Ewa is the greatest. I have other artist friends out here. For example, my friend Faith Asena. She is so dope when it comes to writing. Like, you'll read her stuff, you'll be like, oh my gosh, like, what? I told her this past week, like, girl, your stuff, I literally felt it. You're reading something, you really feel it inside. Like, your body starts to, like, literally. That's how Faith made me feel when I was reading her stuff. And I have so many different artistic friends out there who have inspired me today. And that's one of the reasons why I am on YouTube as we speak. The third thing is minister. God willing, there are so many events around you where you can, show your artwork. You can post videos online. You can begin to talk more in Bible study. And then 4, be humble. Be humble. Sit down. That's not this channel, right? Embarrassing. Okay, come empty-minded to God and let Him inspire you. Don't just come to God with like, okay, God, like, this is my idea, I don't want to do this. You then limit Him. He wants to do more with you, so make yourself available. Now, last point I'm going to make. This is by Andy Mineo. I was watching his snap on Snapchat, and he said 2 things. He said, there's nothing new under the sun, and creativity is key. Check this out. He's right. There is nothing new under the sun, but that doesn't mean that you can't take an idea that has already been made and add it with another idea that's already been made and make it something new. That right there is creativity. And that is exactly what that's what he was using on his Snapchat to kind of explain creativity, how he can take something like folk music and rap music and combine it together and make folk rap. Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? So be open-minded. Finally, creativity is in the hands of God. If you're saved and you know that you have this creative, like burn, this creative fire in you that wants to burst out, don't keep it on a hush. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people cause you to feel like you can't break out and serve God with your creativity. Go to God with that. Go to God with your gift, and He's going to go ahead and mold it out for you and turn it into something beautiful. Now, if you're not saved, and you're a creator, let me tell you something. Your creativity is limited. I'm telling you the honest truth. Whether you feel like you reached a peak, whether you feel like you've done things, you've done this and that, I'm telling you your creativity is limited because you are not tapping into the source of creativity, who is God. You know what I'm saying? So it's never too late for you to tap into the root. If you feel like your art and whatever you've dropped has begun to lose depth, then it's probably because you're not tapping into the source. So I commend you. If you haven't given your life to Christ, go ahead and give your life to Christ, so your art walk, this creativity that you have going on with you, can begin to be placed in the right hands, and there'll be more depth to it. God is waiting for you, all of you. He wants to do so much more with us, and I thank God so much for giving me this idea. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope this allowed you guys to feel like you can take your art to another level. I hope this allowed you to open your eyes and be like, yo, I think I've been limiting God, for real. Yeah, don't limit him. But yeah, thanks guys so much for tuning into this video. Please comment down below. Let's start up a conversation. Like, what advice would you give to those who are Christians, they're saved, and they're kind of shy about being creative? Like, let's help each other out down there. And thank you guys once again for tuning in. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Like, y'all know what's good out here. All right, it's iGloriaaa signing off. Peace.